Welcome to video 2 of this series, Today's Opioid Crisis, How We Got Here and How We Fix It. This book and the video series make a straightforward argument. America's drug policy must be fundamentally restructured, not shifted left or right, not rebranded, but rebuilt around what works best with new investments in what experience and research tells us will be most impactful. The 12 hard lessons from the book, which we'll discuss in this video series, identify weaknesses in how we've thought about drugs and addiction and point to available solutions. These are lessons I have learned not just from my work in government offices, but also from visiting drug programs across the country, talking to experts, reading the research, and teaching drug policy at Georgetown University for the past decade. The hard lessons inform the book's 32 recommendations. I think it's fair to say that decades working on drug policy in Congress and then for 28 years at the White House Drug Office have given me a unique vantage point of America's drug problem. I'm grateful to the many people who advised me along the way and to the American taxpayers who paid my salary and enabled me to do the work that I loved. The book and the video series are my way of paying that forward. Five themes run through the book, and they shape the entire reform strategy that I'm proposing. First, decades of racial bias, over-reliance on incarceration, and stigma against drug users have harmed individuals and undermined the trust needed to address today's drug problems. Second, deep flaws in our treatment system continue to discourage many people with substance use disorder from seeking or receiving care. Third, today's drug supply is far more lethal, and confronting it will require new approaches to global supply control, as well as prevention and early intervention efforts here at home. Fourth, some of our most effective programs never reach national scale, not because they don't work, but because we lack a system to scale what works best. And finally, the chronic under-resourcing of our response virtually guarantees greater human suffering and higher economic costs in the future. This video series isn't just a critique of past policies, it's a blueprint for a durable, evidence-based series of reforms. What makes this book different is not just what it calls for, but how it approaches change. Every initiative will include accountability, measurable outcomes, and then collection of real-time data to support continuous improvement as implementation challenges emerge, because of course, they always do. This is a blueprint for moving from a fragmented ad hoc response to the drug problem to durable evidence-based systems that actually produce results. Here's how the series unfolds and what's expected in each chapter. The initial videos walk through the foundations of American drug policy, the crack cocaine epidemic, and the early causes and response to the opioid crisis. From there, we turn to a review of current policy across all major areas, what has gone wrong, and how to fix it. Each video begins with the book's chapter title and hard lesson, and ends with a slide or two focused on what should change, drawn directly from the book's recommendations. In the next video, I'll start with the first hard lesson taken from our country's long and complicated history with drugs. Nothing will be swept under the rug. It's time to confront the hard lessons that have held us back and lay out how we can finally move forward to build a better future. But first, I want to give you a quick preview of one of the most important reforms in the entire book. It's something that shaped my thinking after decades inside government, and it's a concept that will help you understand where this whole video series is headed. One thing you learn in government is how vulnerable good programs can be. A federally funded initiative can produce good results, but if it relies on support from one key political appointee or a single champion on Capitol Hill to ensure continued funding, it can vanish almost overnight. Each year, the president puts out a new budget for the executive branch, and then Congress decides what is funded. Programs without strong support often struggle to survive. There's a way to guard against that. It starts with building durable institutions outside of government, what I call centers of excellence. You can see the 15 centers which I'm calling for on the slide. Many such organizations already exist. They're the national nonprofits that run conferences, host webinars, publish reports, and stay in regular contact with federal and state officials. They're the connective tissue that keeps a good initiative moving forward, even when Washington's attention is somewhere else. For new national efforts, we need new groups. The federal government should dedicate a small slice of program funding to help build stable organizations outside government that can hire expert staff, create implementation guidance, train local programs, and share best practices and help new sites get started quickly. Because when a community wants to launch a new recovery initiative, a youth prevention effort, or something else, they shouldn't have to start from scratch. A center of excellence can help by providing established protocols, reducing mistakes, and accelerating learning curves. It speeds everything up. And these centers also drive continuous improvement, spotting problems, promoting evidence-based practices, and helping local programs get better. In a national system with hundreds of programs around the country, that kind of self-correction mechanism is essential. Centers of excellence are the backbone of how we scale national programs effectively. The few $1 million for each new center doesn't sound like much, but it can make a huge difference. Think of these NGOs as small but influential institutions, focused, steady, and deeply committed. They're the ones who make sure the work gets done well, the right way, the first time. In the next video, we look at how the drug war started and what we can learn from what went wrong. So please join me for video 3. Thank you.